All right, time for you to move by the numbers. First, $488 billion. That's the cost of new regulations under President Obama since 2009. According to a new analysis, $70 billion are from this year alone. Next, just over $7 billion. That's how much a Colorado man won in a lawsuit for suffering from popcorn lung. He claims it's from years of inhaling artificial butter and microwave popcorn. Sounds plausible. Finally, $2.1 billion. That's how much is reportedly spent on sugary drinks, paid for with food stamps. That accounts for more than half of the beverages families are buying with the assistance from that program. Gretchen.
Well, here come the cops. You're not going to believe this story. It's one that we told you about yesterday. A mom thrown in jail, charged with negligence for letting her kids ride their scooters outside her home. Not only was she arrested, she was forced to spend the night in jail, away from her kids, who watched in horror as their mom was hauled off by cops. Joining me now is that mom, Tammy Cooper. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I know that you told our producers you've never been in trouble really ever before in your life, have you?
No, I have never been in trouble.
And so you let your kids go out and ride their scooters, and what happened?
Well, my kids asked me if they could go outside to play. It being a nice summer day around 7 o'clock, I said, well, sure. I don't see any reason why you can't go outside and play, and they wanted to ride their scooters. So we went outside. I took my lawn chair and put it on the sidewalk where I always sit and watch them outside when they're playing. They were out maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, got tired. We came inside, started getting their pajamas on them and getting ready for the end of our day. And about 30 minutes after that, I look out my window and see a LaPorte police officer at the end of my driveway.
And so they come in and arrest you.
Yeah,
they come in and they arrest you and they charge you with child endangerment, and it was all sparked by a neighbor who called the cops on you, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So what did you tell the police officers when they said we're arresting you for child endangerment?
I was in shock, disbelief. I couldn't believe it. I've never been in trouble before. I didn't know what to think. My first response was, you know, me? Why? I don't understand.
And so you ended up spending the night in jail. I can't imagine how that was. And your son eventually comes to bail you out. Now you are suing the city to get back the $10,000 that you have spent legally trying to clear your name.
Yes, that's correct.
So where does that lawsuit stand right now?
We're in the early stages right now. The lawsuit's just been filed. We are waiting to get a date set to go to trial.
But let me ask you this, Tammy, because so many parents and non-parents, for that matter, are watching this story and saying, what? I mean, she was outside with her kids, she was watching them, and they were going up and down the street, and she's arrested for child endangerment. Why do you think this happened to you?
I think it was a nosy neighbor, you know, trying to parent somebody else's children, you know, with issues between the two of us. I think it was a way to get back at me, a revenge type of a thing for, you know, past issues that I've addressed with her. But, you know, I went to her as a neighbor would to address these issues, and I didn't pick up the telephone and call the police on her.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people are concerned because, you know, a lot of neighbors can call up and say whatever they want to say, but it's up to the police to determine whether or not a crime has actually been committed. And speaking of that, we do have a statement from the city of LaPorte, and here's what they say. If served with this lawsuit by you, Tammy, the city will respond in accordance with the applicable rules of law. I would be pleased to provide a detailed statement to you about the facts after the litigation is concluded. So it looks like we won't get any more response from them until after that. How do you respond to that, Tammy?
Well, you know, I don't know really how to respond. Like I said, I couldn't believe that the officer on the scene did not use better judgment, could not look at the situation he was faced with and go strictly off of the information and the testimony or the word that he got from my neighbor, and not be able to assess the situation and see that I was outside with them, that there was no danger to my children, that they were perfectly fine.
Well, this has put a lot of parents,
still am
Tammy,
just in total shock.
Yeah, well, I can tell, and this has put a lot of parents on high alert. Tammy Cooper, a Texas mom, arrested for letting her kids play outside. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Let us know what you think about that story. Well, this teen's murderer, an illegal immigrant just out of jail, now his father is fighting to make sure this doesn't ever happen again. Then, the president claims he's a champion for the middle class, but guess what? Obamacare is about to hit 6 million middle-class Americans right in the pocketbook. We'll tell you about that story. And better watch your cookies, because look who's here. All right, can hardly wait for this.